Hey, what's going on everyone? Today it is time that I review this new Benny the Butcher album, The Plugs I Met 2. Now, there's no need for any more introductions than this. I'm just gonna get straight into it. If you don't know how these reviews work, basically I'm gonna be showing you 3 of my favorite songs on the project. I'm gonna play them, talk about why I like them and all that good shit. Then I'll do the same with 2 of my least favorite songs on the project. And then at the end, I'll talk about the whole album in its entirety. Now, let's just get straight into it. My first pick out of the top 3 will be No Instructions. I have already kind of thought about it before. I'm just going to play it for literally 10 seconds now. I am trying to limit the amount of times I get copyrighted on this channel. If you want to hear me listen to the whole song, just check out the video I dropped yesterday because that's where the reaction is. And yeah, you basically get the best of both worlds. So let's just get it. No Instructions. 10 seconds. That's all I'm going to give you guys. Okay, just to give you a reference here.
All my OGs encourage violence. That's why I turn for guidance. My hood make your block look like the Virgin Islands. I treat a plug like a wealthy investor. Jump in the whip, open the roof up. They tell you anything.
Fuck it, that's enough. So basically for this song, the reason why I fuck with it so much is first of all the beat. The beat is fucking insane. Harry Fraud has gone crazy with the beats on this album in general, but this and my other 2 songs that I would pick later on are just top of the line in terms of instrumentals. It's fucking, I can't say it enough how much of a difference a good instrumental like this makes to especially this kind of rap, you know. Benny, I feel like he's literally perfecting that lyrical style that Griselda has been pushing forward. I feel like the reason why this song stands out to me is probably the subject matter that he's talking about. He's basically saying, you know, you don't want to be like me. He's kind of taking that approach that Eminem took at the start of his career with that song No Role Models, where he's just talking about, you know, all the shit he's done that you're not meant to be really proud of. You know, he's basically saying it to say like, don't glamorize me, you know, don't glamorize all these other rappers too. They're not real. Okay, and I respect that. First of all, I can respect that because a lot of rappers nowadays, I mean, I said it in the reaction, can you imagine like Lil Pump saying, oh, you don't want to be like me? They're too self-centered for that type of shit. I mean, Lil Pump literally made a song where he's just on about like everybody want to be like him because he just loves it, you know. And then there's Benny here saying, you know, okay, I'm confident, I am stunting in pretty much all my songs, talking about all the bitches I get, all the money, the status. But in this song, you know, he was like, okay, let me talk about the shit I'm not necessarily proud of. So yeah, I am generally fucking with this song just off the way that he's kind of switching up the topics on here. Now I'm gonna be talking about number 2, Talking Back, featuring Fat Joe. So I'm just gonna play it again.
About ways to get rich. All these chains on my neck, I'm still a slave in a sense. Ben Frank on 100, but my face on a brick. You can't tell me shit unless you ran your paper.
Right up in the pot, gave him pipe dreams. And watch it spread like the Wuhan virus. Do him dirty for the low like Wu-Tang Cyrus.
Alright, so that was Talking Back, featuring Fat Joe. Now, again, similar to No Instructions, the beat is fucking insane. It's actually like so much better than No Instructions, and the one on No Instructions is already pretty fucking good. It's actually one of the best Benny the Butcher beats I've ever heard. And Fat Joe did his thing on the feature as well. The lyrics, you know, they're kind of the same to what he's doing most of the time with his Griselda shit, kind of just talking about being gangster, how much, you know, he's making money, how much of a boss he is. And yeah, he's talking about that a lot on most of his music, right? This is his main kind of topic. He's got a couple of introspective lines there, like how he's wearing so many chains. He's basically like a slave still. So that makes you think a little bit, you know, all these rappers, entertainers, they are so invested in the image of like having chains and shit. They're basically slaves to the media and the fans and the jewelers, you know, because technically the money is theirs, the choice is theirs, but if they can't help themselves, then do they really have a choice? Like, if you think about it, like, look at what Blueface was saying about how you have to buy a chain before you buy your mom a house. Like, he was clowning some rapper for buying a house for his mother before getting like a chain because of its status, when in reality you don't really need that. Look at people like Kendrick, look at people like J. Cole, even look at people like Saba. And to be fair, Saba isn't as big as like Blueface, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Saba does actually have more money than Blueface because he is not spending it on jewels. But yeah, in terms of the song itself, like I said, It's all you can really say about a Benny song. The rapping is absolutely fucking top-notch quality. Fat Joe's verse is pretty fucking good. He fits the beat very nicely. And the sample on the production is fucking great as well. My top one pick on an album usually is the definitive best song on the project, unless I say it's not. But in this case, it definitely is for me. My favorite song on here is Overall by Chinks, and I did actually say that this probably will be my favorite on the reaction. Just 2 songs in, and I already knew this is a special song, so I'm just gonna play it.
The total since I kicked in the door, I've been in go mode. She asked the same question like,
why you never smiling in your photos?
The same reason Bobby went solo.
Forever tall, I'm in it for the bank, we winning overall. I'm creeping in the like real slow, keep a chopper for that if I let it go.
So that was Overall. I'm gonna take these headphones on, and yeah, that's the reason why I fuck with it, is because it's a fucking banger, bro. That beat, that is the best beat. I said that Talking Back is one of the best beats I've heard Benny on. Overall is the best beat I've ever heard from Benny. No fucking cap. And I'm pretty sure this is the best beat I've ever heard Harry Fraud make as well. That is the best fucking beat, honestly. It portrays that gangster type of fucking lifestyle from Scarface perfectly, in my opinion. It's got that tropical vibe to it. Like, I feel like you could really listen to it in the summer when it's fucking hot, in the car, you know, just blasting it in that kind of 80s style in America. I feel like it just portrays that kind of atmosphere so well, and yeah, I can just visualize myself being in that position whilst playing this song. I feel like it could fucking bang in the car, and yeah, it's just super, you know, luxurious of a rap song. I feel like I never really understood when people say, like, people like Rick Ross or just the Griselda folks, they make luxurious rap, right? I never really got what that was, but this, I feel like this is like music for bosses, man. This shit really makes you like just confident, just listen to it. And yeah, obviously Benny doing his thing as always. His voice fits the beat perfectly. I am super impressed with Chinks, his hook. I'm pretty sure Chinks is on a hook. He kind of sounds different to the verse. That was a pretty good hook as well, I have to admit, and his verse is pretty damn good too. So overall, it's just a great fucking song, man. There's nothing to really talk about on here. It's just great. It just does everything from the basics amazingly, and then it goes beyond that with the beat, with the vibe, and with Benny's delivery. So yeah, this will be it, I feel like, for the top 3. Now it's time for the bottom 2. Now it's important to say that even though these are my bottom 2, I have to pick my worst 2 tracks on this project. So just because I pick them doesn't mean they're bad. So with that being said, I'm gonna pick my first out of the bottom 2, and that will be Longevity.
Ashes, trap full of burnt plastic. With a coffee blender, I could work magic. But I made a fortune off my first classic.
Hit and dub it. She trying to kiss in public. I bought y'all the luggage. Nah, they don't love us. That's why we on the covers.
So that was Longevity. Had to play that real quick. So first of all, some of the things that kind of let it down on here. First of all, the length, because a 4-minute track by Benny is not a good track to me. It's gonna be super fucking hard to make a song that long by a single Griselda person, I feel like, because their style is amazing. Okay, I do love their style, but it's just not made for long songs. I feel like it's too kind of repetitive over a long period of time. Now, whenever they do their collaborations, when there's all 3 of them on a song, then I don't mind it being like a 4-minute long song, because, you know, it's switching up the voices. It's so different in terms of styles that it can actually entertain me for a long enough time. But when you got Benny and then French to try and keep up, like, that is just, he's just not gonna do it. He's just not gonna do it. Jim Jones had a super long verse, over like 1 minute and 30 seconds long, and although it was pretty good, because of that duration, it just got stale after a while. After like the first 40 seconds, I'm thinking, okay, how long is he gonna be spitting for, you know? And then he ends up going for another fucking 50 seconds, so I'm already over it by then. In a reaction, I did say that French was pretty good on that verse, but that's only by French's standards. But yeah, now we got my second track. I think I'm gonna go in Thanksgiving in the end, so I'm just gonna play it.
Cause it's love, he said we did the work, you giving too much credit to the plug. That was us on that corner, Montana and Genesee. When niggas couldn't sell it they self, they was hitting me. Talking you live like this, it's gonna make them hate you. This will fuel them to get off their asses, I made them greater. You should thank me, nigga, thank me. Tell me thank you.
Alright, so that was Thanksgiving. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't really have anything in particular to talk about this track. It's just not as good as the rest, right? I have nothing against it, and I feel like everything from the beat to the subject matter to the flows, everything that Benny does is just great. It's to a very high standard, but I am just not, you know, I'm just not really fucking with it. It's just something I'm not clicking with. I feel pretty similar about Survivor's Remorse, but the one thing that does tip that track over the edge is the subject matter, because in Survivor's Remorse he's talking about some different shit. Basically he's talking about survivor's guilt, saying like how has he deserved to be alive and reap this rewards of his work, whereas his friends have been either in jail or dead. So it's a super introspective song. Now with Thanksgiving, it's a bit more generic when it comes to the topic. It's just saying like, yeah, he's basically doing the opposite of Survivor's Remorse. He's on about saying like, yeah, you should thank me. I'm definitely deserving everything I got in life, and everyone that I helped along the way, you should fucking thank me for that too. And yeah, both of those views are 100% acceptable. I'm just not fucking with this track for its you know, sonic purposes, I guess, like the way it sounds, and that's all I really have to say about it. Now when it comes to the overall project, I would have to say it is a fucking great one. It is pretty good. I would say it's not as good as Burden of Proof, but Burden of Proof does have like 3 more tracks, and it is more of a fully well-made album, whereas this, it kind of feels more like a mixtape to me. I'd say The Plugs I Met 1, I wouldn't say it's better than The Plugs I Met 1. I have no idea. I would say the best track on Plugs I Met 1 is Crowns for Kings, right, featuring Black Thought. That's actually the first track I ever heard from Benny, and yeah, I feel like the best track on the first Plugs I Met is super comparable to the best track on here, right, overall, and Crowns for Kings. But in terms of the rest, I feel like the Plugs I Met 1 is a bit better. Now when it comes to looking at this album in isolation, I'd say it is a pretty fucking good album. I'd probably give it like an 8. I'd say it's super short and sweet. You could say that the last 3 songs on here are his worst, arguably, but a lot of people might actually not think that at all, and they might actually fuck with these the most. So my opinion actually could be skewed, and it could be changed over time. If I heard someone say that Longevity is their favorite song on the album, definitely wouldn't be surprised, which says a lot about this song. You know, I can look at it and say that it isn't my favorite, but it is good enough for me to not just throw it away or disregard it. So yeah, overall the level of these songs is super high. I'd say Live By It is a great song, even though I didn't pick it. Plug Talk is a fucking great song too. When Tony Met Sosa, that's a fire track. It's something to keep us going, yeah. Hopefully he will still drop another album, maybe towards the end of the year, and hopefully we're gonna get some more shit from Westside, right, and Conway. I feel like Westside stopped rapping. I think he said something like that, so I hope that's not true. But yeah, this will be it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you check out more of my shit. Hope you subscribe and like and comment if you did enjoy. And yeah, peace.